Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about gas prices. And with that being said, let's just get right into it. Most of you are probably already pretty familiar with these crazy gas prices. The national average is now $4 a gallon for regular, which is just pretty crazy. And there's some places like California that have prices as high as $7 a gallon for premium. But it seems like the California average is right around $5 a gallon for regular, which is still just astronomically high. Now, there's a number of reasons why the gas prices have gone up, right? We have all the stuff happening over in Europe right now that's causing a lot of issues, inflation, and then we've got supply chain issues from COVID-19 stuff, and it's kind of like all added together. Now, initially, with the last two, the inflation and the COVID-19 stuff, it wasn't really affecting gas prices all that much, slightly, but it wasn't as much as what you'd think. But with all the stuff happening over in Europe, gas prices are just skyrocketing, and it's not because we have supply issues right now. It's that there's a potential that we could have supply issues in the future, and based on that information, gas prices have gone up. The same thing happened with interest rates. The federal government said, hey, we're going to raise interest rates, and so then mortgage companies instantly raised their interest rates in preparation. And so it's pretty interesting that we live in a world where news can impact the price of things more than reality will impact it, because people are just like, people naturally just want to be prepared for things. And so it's very interesting to see that, from an outside perspective. And so, yeah, gas prices are going up, and there's a lot of sources that think that gas prices are going to continue to rise anywhere from $4.50 by the summer, or some places are saying that the average is going to be like $5. So if you live in California, then you'll have, some places charging like $7 for regular, which is pretty crazy, but it's just how things are going. And if you guys are wondering, then with this happening, can't talk today for some reason. What should you do about it, and what are the larger impacts of this? So this is more than, we'll first get the larger impacts. This is more than just making it more expensive to drive your own personal vehicle. Our whole infrastructure is based around gas, right? If you go to the grocery store, or if you go to any store for that matter, right, to get their product to that store, they had to use fuel. So that's a big part of the importance of gas. And so if fuel costs go up, then the cost of everything goes up, and it can be a pretty large amount. There are some sources that are saying that if this continues on the rate that it's going, then inflation will be up another 2 to some sources saying 3%. Up from what we're already at right now, which is pretty crazy to think about. So obviously it won't only make, at the pump more expensive, it'll make everything more expensive, which is just, something that we have to deal with. And this is obviously something that impacts me directly as a business owner. I drive a ton of miles every year. Last year, my fuel cost was up a pretty large margin. I think in 2020, I spent about $3,500 to $4,000 in gas. Last year, I spent about $5,000, so that was a pretty significant increase. And this year, I am honestly expecting to spend at least $7,500 to maybe even $10,000 in gas. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I said, gas prices have just been going up astronomically, and I'm only doing more and more travel as time goes on, and so I'm just kind of expecting that cost to be significantly higher. So this is, it's a big impact for me. Personally. Now, what I'm personally doing to kind of get around this as much as I possibly can is, and this is just super basic advice, so this probably is the point of the video where you're probably just going to be like, okay, click off, let's go. We learned the gas prices are high. I'm a lot more careful about the traveling that I do at this point. So like, I make sure that if I go somewhere, I'm going to be able to hit a bunch of different objectives along the way and get a lot more done in one trip than I did prior. And it's not like I was just wasteful in the past where I was just like, yep, I'm just going to drive a bunch and burn up a bunch of gas. That's not the case. I've always been pretty good, but now I've kind of like tightened it up even more. And so basically that's, one thing you can do is, if you can manage it, right, just pick out your trips and like literally plan them out, so then you can spend, drive less miles, and then that'll help you spend less on gas. And there could be something to be said about food storage and gas storage. That's something that a lot of people have been talking about right now, especially with wheat products, because wheat prices have started to slightly go up, and it sounds like they could potentially skyrocket. So there could be something to be said about that. Gas storage as well, right? If you go and you buy a bunch right now while it's less expensive, then that would help you out. But the downside about gas storage, right, is fuel usually only has a shelf life of about 6 months roughly before it goes bad. So you only can, basically shelve about 6 months worth of fuel before it's going to go bad. And then on top of that, right, if all this stuff that's happening over in Europe calms down, then gas prices will most likely go down. And so then if you go and get all this gas and then gas prices go down, you defeated the whole purpose of why you were storing up fuel. So it's one of those things where you just have to take a calculated risk based on what you think is going to happen. But I don't want this video to be too long. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this whole gas situation. I can already imagine what the comments are going to be. I am just as frustrated as you guys, and I want to know what steps you're taking for your own, personal life to kind of navigate the situation with higher gas prices and all that. If you're, not purchasing a vehicle because of gas prices, or if you're selling a vehicle because of gas prices, I'd be interested to hear that stuff. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe. I'll see you guys.